Okay, so Cal, man, what did it for you for Cal, man? You took some visits and stuff like that?
Man, my recruiting experience was not the normal.
Yeah.
I got an offer from University of Connecticut.
Okay.
That was my only trip. I went up there and visited in like a November, December.
Ooh.
In a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And then
damn,
after I left there, I don't know what happened. They saw me and they was like, we pulling the scholarship. So
Whoa.
they reneged on the scholarship.
After the visit, they pulled the scholarship.
Yeah, the scholarship.
What the hell you did?
I ain't did nothing. I ain't did nothing on the.
They ain't. You ain't go out or nothing. They ain't.
Oh no, that wasn't me.
Oh well, true.
So true. I was, and even the coach, the running back coach, he ended up coaching me in the league at the time. Terry Richardson that was there, and then Randy Edsel, who was the head coach at the time. Mm-hmm. We never got to the bottom of what happened. Like
he knew what the hell happened. Why you ain't tell coach? Why you ain't tell him? Why you ain't tell him?
Why
the
you
truth?
tell him, coach?
Yeah.
Because the coaches, they be knowing.
Must have been some bullshit.
They be knowing.
Must have been some bullshit.
They was just like, shit, we didn't think he was this small.
Exactly.
We didn't think he was this small, coach. I don't think I can go through with it. And then it was like, well, you got to tell him. you got to tell him. No, shit, that's your guy.
Oh my God.
So I was after that, obviously devastated that didn't happen. But I was like, okay, somebody's because this was still going on in my senior year, and I'm still putting up numbers. Somebody will come. Somebody give me an opportunity, and I did. After my senior season ended, I had no scholarship offers.
Yeah,
we were calling like,
damn,
yeah. Like Purdue said I could gray shirt. Abilene Christian said I could walk on. There was all these schools that had these contingencies on, let me there because they didn't think I would be big enough or strong enough to play. Some people wanted to move me to corner, but again, it wasn't going to be a scholarship full ride offer. And then I performed well in a local all-star game, and then the University of Notre Dame comes in the picture.
Yeah.
And I'm excited because Notre Dame, I'm like, okay, man, this just makes sense. This is like God opening up some doors for me. And big fan of Notre Dame. Tyrone Willingham is the coach, the black coach at the time that's there. I'm just like, oh, man, this is perfect. And then a week before signing day, they told me they didn't need me anymore.
Oh.
So I was devastated. I remember going into that basement, crying my eyes out when I got that news and praying to God and trying to figure out like, what's happening? What's my future going to be like? As a 17-year-old kid, I didn't know how to process that amount of rejection. Because you work so hard. I'm the one that's doing the extra work, going Sundays, Saturdays, going to a local park, conditioning, training, lifting weights after hours, doing all the little things, trying 1,000 push-ups and sit-ups in a night.
Shit.
Because I heard Herschel Walker doing that. I'm studying film of Eddie George at the time, and he was doing ballet. So I started stretching, doing some of the stuff that I was seeing on the Blockbuster DVDs that VHSs that he had at the time. And so I do all this work, and I'm just like, God, like, I'm watching everybody else get the blessings that I've been working for. So you got to show me something. Mm-hmm. And I remember literally at that moment, I was crying my eyes out in that basement, and I kind of played Bible roulette. It was where you just try to open the Bible and say, God, just show me something. Mm-hmm. And I remember he led me to Proverbs 3, 5-6 in that moment, which says, trust in the Lord God with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, acknowledge him in all your ways, and he'll direct your path. Mm-hmm. And at that moment, I remember being in that basement when I was all by myself, and I felt like this warming sensation come over my body at the time. And I never felt anything like this before in my life. And in that moment, I had felt this peace that surpassed it. Even my understanding at the time, I was just like, man, it was just like, man, I don't know. Nothing in my situation had changed, but something on the inside had changed. And I was like, man, I just got to keep faith. I'm going to keep working, excelling at what I can't control. And something's going to open. I'm going to just have belief. Yeah. And eventually, I was headed to South Carolina State, where my uncles had went to school. And some of my dad's brothers had went to school at the time. I had connections there, which is at HBCU. Mm-hmm. And we, at that time, my brothers and my dad and my coaches, we sent out videotape, highlight tapes all over the country. We sent it to the West Coast, which he hadn't done before. And Cal got back to me, wanted me to come out to visit, and Boise State. Cal responded first, so I went out there, took a tour, loved it, and I was going to sign right away as long as they was going to offer the paper. I mean, I was ready to sign and ready to go just get an opportunity. And this was May. So this was well after they had just finished spring game. Like people had already known where they were going to go.
Yeah, signing day was over.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Way over. And what happened was a guy got injured during spring game, which opened up a scholarship offer. Yeah. And then the other running back that they were recruiting at the time from Oakland, California, ended up being Marshawn Lynch. Mm-hmm. They didn't know if he was going to make it into school academically. So that's how I got at the Cal.
Wow. That's a crazy story.
That's a story.
Yeah.
Like
not a typical recruiting story.
Right, because right before you damn near got a report to school.
Yeah.
Like shit, you probably signed and a few weeks later you at school?
I was there.
Nah, that's crazy.
So I had to do my whole, at that time, it wasn't as big, I don't think, as it is now because we wouldn't have national television when you put your letter of intent. But you had to take a picture in the newspaper with your hat on or whatnot. Right. So we kind of had to manufacture that to get that experience for me. I had that picture with me, my mom, my dad, and my older brother at the time where I'm signing my letter of intent. And I was on my way to school literally a couple of weeks after the visit.
That's crazy.
Man.